So for his 3.27 league, I ended up deciding to go with BalorMage's Holy Relic of Conviction build. I really wanted to do Bama originally, but it got nerfed, so I guess I won't be playing that this time around. And so I ended up googling, Poison SRS. I had played SRS Guardian a lot in the past, and it was really easy, really fun to level, but then it sort of fell off. So I thought Poison SRS would be a better alternative this time, maybe something a bit different, a bit similar. So I was looking it up, and I through that found BalorMage's Holy Relic of Conviction, and that was also similar, I guess, builds the way it's built, but it was different enough to be more interesting to me. So I ended up settling with that, and from the way his videos looked like at the end game for tier 17s and so on, it looked like it has the potential to go far without a crazy amount of investment. So I've settled on Holy Relic of Conviction, and the goal will be to basically get at least two of the Void Stones or Watchstones or whatever they're called, and then work towards a Mage Blood. Ideally, get four, and maybe we'll do the challenges, the little reward challenges if they're good enough. From what they showed, it didn't really look that good, but who knows. Now, in order to practice and basically set myself up for a good league launch, I've leveled a practice character in Soul Self-Found Standard. I followed BalorMage's leveling path of building for it, and I ran SRS right from when I could get it all the way until I swapped to Holy Relic in maps. I leveled the character as if I had the worst luck, because I want the league start to go better than this sort of practice run. And I wanted to see what the worst case would be. So I didn't pick up any plus to fire skills. I didn't pick up any plus spell skill items, and I think I had white items at the end of Act 2 still. And even for Murbil, I didn't have boots, helmet, or an amulet yet. And I ended up not getting the chance to run melee splash on SRS until Act 3. So that wasn't the plan. I just didn't get the links for it. And by the time I hit docks, I was still level 22, and I hadn't managed to link the melee splash yet. I also didn't make use of Frostbomb or Spectres at all until I hit maps, or until I got, I think, towards the end of the game. And so the run came in at about 7 hours to do the 3 labs and get to maps. And I have the entire thing recorded, but I probably won't post it just because of how long it is. I did want to mention that there were some noticeable power spikes I got early in the leveling process. So mainly this was when I was getting anger at the Act 3 library quest, being able to finally run melee splash on the SRS, and getting the first ascendancy point, as well as allowing myself to finally use a crafting bench. I hadn't been using the crafting bench early on just because I wasn't quite sure when I had it unlocked, because when I was running in Soul Self-Found I had everything unlocked for whatever reason. So I didn't want to sort of cheat myself and make it too easy and sort of give myself power that I wouldn't normally have. So for that reason, I didn't use a crafting bench until basically right before the Dominus fight. Before your emperor, you are worthy. Before the goddess of justice, you are worthy. Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve. Embrace. Like the master that called you here, please. Now, obviously, I want to improve this hour time and get it closer to, around 5.5 hours, maybe even quicker if I get lucky. So my plan is for the league start is that I'm going to follow Helmbreaker's guide on Maxroll for leveling a Poison SRS Necro, and then just swap trees once I'm ready for the Holy Relic of Conviction. The leveling planner thing that they have on Maxroll is really nicely laid out, and it should make life much easier when I just need to remember when to pick up a certain gem. It has nice reminders to grab Spectres of Act 2 and so on. So hopefully that puts me at closer to the goal of around 5 hours. And so that thing combined with just not sandbagging myself and a bit of a luck, it should be a nice smooth league start until we start trying to figure out how to swap over to Holy Relic of Conviction. So now, when it comes to swapping over to Holy Relic of Conviction, I think I'll most likely need to have about 10 chaos built up to buy the Holy Relic of Conviction and buy the Lancing Steel of Spraying. I did a quick test just to see if a Lancing Steel of Spraying is really needed, or if you could just use a normal Lancing Spray and use Holy Relic of Conviction and still, play the game as intended. And using the Transfigured Lancing Steel, it's really a big difference to DPS in the field of build. So I'd say, yeah, you need both, as soon as possible. And then, of course, there's that unique helm, Joffrey's Crest. It's not that rare, I think. I've never really cared about the item, but I don't think that would be terribly expensive. I think the gems are going to be more expensive, or the skill gems. So once I've picked up the 2 skill gems, what I'll end up doing is going back to Act 1 and just picking up any sword with the 1.6 base attack speed that I can equip, and then I'll just try to hit it with minion essences until I get attack speed on it, and hopefully a space for the trigger craft. What I'll probably end up doing is just not getting attack speed, having space for the trigger craft, and then crafting the trigger craft on it, and that way I can, it's manageable until I get just a better one to put in there. And for the trigger craft, you get it from Act 9 Refinery, and it costs about 3 chaos to craft on the crafting bench. And after this, I'd basically just be leveling, trying to hit a 5 link. I'll be doing Essence and Harvest to begin with on the Outlist tree, and that's just to craft more swords with the essences and to roll Ghastly Jewels with Harvest for Poison Chance. So that'll just be rolling for Chaos on the Harvest crafting bench. Now, with this, I should be able to get right to the 2 Void Stones, and by the time I'm ready for 4 Void Stone, I'll hopefully have enough to afford the unique chess piece, Diala's Malefaction. So that'll help us push the quality higher, which will bring us into higher CDR breakpoints so that we can just push out more DPS. So that's really it for my experience and current plans for this build. I'll link in the description link back to BalorMage's website where he talks about his build, and the Maxroll leveling guide for Poison SRS. As usual, once the league starts, I'll just post sort of day 1, day 2, day 3 updates at the end of every day, and yeah, that's about it. From now until then, I'll just sort of catch up on whatever news comes out, like the new Bloodline Ascendancies. I think they released some today. There's some that deal with with offerings and minions specifically that do look good and might be something to look into with the last 1 or 2, probably just the last point of the Ascendancy. But I guess we'll have a lot of time to play around with that after the league started. I'm sort of situated in the league already.